jest, because our president was not declared winner, but we are striving to make sure that gets to happen. So he will speak to you, he will encourage you in that light to see that we move, we keep moving. As you did see, the country has witnessed, one of the steps we are taking is to go to court. We have gone to court to petition the results of the 2021 presidential elections. There are several avenues that are available for us in the law, and we want to use all of them. We are not going to leave any stone unturned. And so it's very important that every option is on the table to make sure that this gets to happen. And so we'll be talking about all of this and more. But without further ado, let me invite our team leader, our president, Your Excellency, who is very smart this morning. Please come and address us. Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Olutalo nga luwedde tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule. Olutalo nga luwedde tuliyambale ngule, tulivimba mu Uganda. When the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. When the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown in a new Uganda. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Mbarara.
NUP.
Mbarara.
NUP.
Kamuli.
NUP.
Masaka.
NUP.
Machinde.
NUP.
Chitalia.
NUP.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Even here.
NUP.
Thank you. Please take your seats, comrade. A very good morning, brothers and sisters. A good morning, sisters and brothers.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Very, very, very energized to see you in full strength, but most importantly, with hopeful faces. I thank, of course, our comrades in the media, those that continue to risk covering us, even when we know that it has been consistently made to appear dangerous to cover what we are saying. We thank you. You continue to be the connection between our thoughts and the thoughts of so many other Ugandans here and abroad. We salute you, the mainstream and the freelance media. Now, I want to salute our comrades, those that were not able to go through, those that lost the election, but most importantly, those that were cheated out. I know very many of you were cheated out. And like me, you are standing strong and rejecting the fake results, challenging them in every legal and non-violent manner. We shall continue to discuss more in the absence of the media, but with the media here, ladies and gentlemen, I congratulate you. You know, many of our colleagues actually won. Many of you have all the declaration of results forms confirming that you won. But as you have seen the regime behaving, they did not only do it there, they did it in very many parts of the country. We'll continue to challenge that, and I can guarantee you that if we don't give up, they will give up. One important thing I want you to know is that giving up is not an option for us. That on the side, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity to make a final comment on an issue that has been lingering on the minds of the people. Yes, recently I came out and communicated to all of you who are having a big question of what is going to happen next after the blatant falsification of all the results that came out of the 14th January election. Many views, thank you very much, comrade. Many views were coming our way. On one side, many Ugandans were disagreeing with going to court. They argued, and we agreed with them, that the courts of law have for a long time come off as compromised. Even with the rigging of the 2011 election, with everything that the world was seeing, the courts ruled the way they ruled and upheld General Museveni's rigged election, rigged victory. The same thing happened in 2016 as petitioned by Honorable Amama Mbabazi. So there was every argument on their side for us not to go to court. In any case, they argued that we would further be giving a stamp of legitimacy on General Museveni's rule. However, on the other side, other Ugandans were arguing that since we had given the same precedent of believing in the power of the people, but most importantly, putting the truth before their eyes, and also arguing that our biggest weapon has always been exposure. There is so much hope now because there are many more Ugandans that have actually been exposed in the politics of the country. Many more Ugandans have picked interest in the way their country is being run. That is why you are seeing this massive change that is being fought by guns. So, they thought that it's important for us to continue, one, pursuing every last legal option. And therefore, they argued that even though it is clear that our courts of law have been showing signs of fear and compromise, they said, and we agreed with them, that it's important to put our judiciary at a test. Even when we know that General Museveni has historically intimidated the judiciary, as it was noted by the former Chief Justice, Professor Kanyehamba, we said that we want to once again, one, demonstrate ourselves as a group of people who believe in the rule of law, but most importantly, as people who want to put to test every last legal step. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hereby once again announce that we, as a National Unity Platform that I lead, have decided to petition the Supreme Court of Uganda. We yesterday filed our petition, Presidential Election Petition number 1 of 2021. We are taking General Museveni to court. We are taking the NRM to the Supreme Court of Uganda. Note that our hope is in the courts of law. Like we've said, our hope is in the people of Uganda. People power is our power. We mentioned it in the beginning that we knew that Mr. Byabakama was acting biased, but we decided to put to a test, and everybody was able to see everything. We are yet again putting the judiciary at a test. We want to be remembered as a group of people that pursued every legal challenge, every legal redress to the letter Z. And that is why we are going to the Supreme Court. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to also inform you that we are very, very confident. We are very confident because we were able to gather a substantial amount of declaration of results forms, something that we have not seen in the past. Everything that happened on the campaign trail, everything that is in our petition was actually seen and witnessed by the entire country, if not the entire world. So everything that we are saying, we are not cooking it, or the public is not going to hear it for the first time. They saw it happening, they followed the entire story, and now we are presenting this story to the Supreme Court. And we want to see if our Supreme Court can actually stand on the side of justice. That is the step that we are taking. I want you, ladies and gentlemen, to look at this as part of the entire plan. We told you before that our plan is one, removing a dictator. This plan is going to have many parts and many episodes and many phases, and we are heading to yet another phase of our struggle. We have told you before that much as we are many and young and energetic, we despise violence, and we decided not to use violence. We are going to use non-violence, we are going to use the law, and we are going to remove a dictator. If there's justice in this country, then it is either going to show itself or expose itself in this case. We thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Mwebale nnyo basebo ne banyabo banamawulire, tubeebaza buli otusenkana olw'okutuwanga omukisa okonectinga ebirowoozo byaffe n'eby'Abannayuganda bannaffe abali wano mu Uganda n'ebweru bw'eggwanga. Nja kukulisaayo bannaffe mwenna bakandideti baffe abataayitamu olw'ensonga emu oba endala. Manyi bulungi nti abamu temwayitamu kuba mwawangulwa. Manyi bulungi nti abasinga kummwe temwayitamu kubanga mwabbibwa. Bangi kummwe nzize nsinkana nammwe abalala ne mundagane ku declaration of results forms zonna, naye ng'oluvannyuma lwa byonna temwalangirirwa. Ekyo nno kye kimu ku biraga obubbi bwonna obwaliwo nga tebwakoma ku mutendera gwa MP nga bwatuuka ne ku level ya president. Naye twabategeeza nti bannaffe bangi baali batubuuza ekiddako, naye ekiddako engeri gye tukijja mu bantu, era twagenda maaso ne twebuuza ku bannaffe bangi nga balowooza nti okugenda mu kooti kuyinza okuba okumala obudde, kubanga mwami Museveni bamanyi nti kooti yabawa emirimu bonna abalamuzi, era abo abalamuzi tebayinza musalira musango ne bw'abanga yali mu bukyamu. Ne batutegeeza nti bazze bakiraba kuva ku Dr. Besigye, Amama Mbabazi, emisango gyali girina okusazaamu okulonda okwo naye tebakusazaamu. Ne batutegeeza n'otutegeeza nti tujja kubanga aba wa stamp ya approval oba bakkiriza mwami Museveni n'enkola ye ey'obumenyi bw'amateeka singa tugenda mu kooti. Naye ate bannaffe abalala ne baleeta endowooza nti newankubadde bamanyi nti ekooti ebiseera bingi eba teyetengeredde, naye tulina okubeera era ne tulabibwa ng'abantu abakkiririza mu mateeka, newankubadde abo balina okukuuma amateeka omuli poliisi n'ebitongole ebirala baba tebagakuumye. Ne batujjukiza nti twagenda mu kulonda nga tumanyi nti mwami Byabakama gwe tumanyi clearly nti mukozi wa Museveni eyali asala ogw'okulonda, naye ne tugenda mu kulonda kubanga obwesigwa bwaffe tebwali mu mwami Byabakama naye nga buli mu maaso g'abantu, wadde mwami Byabakama alina bye yayogera, bannayuganda balina kye baalaba era balina kye bamanyi. N'olw'ensonga eyo ne bateesa era ne tukkaanya nabo nti kiba bakkiriza mu mateeka okumalayo buli mutendera ogw'amateeka. Tufunemu ebintu bibiri: ekooti esazeemu okulonda kuno ne mwami Museveni bamuwere okwesimbawo bwe banga ekooti ebala mazima. Ebyo by'ebimu ku bye tusabye ekooti, era nga tumanyi nti ekooti bw'eba esala mazima ejja kusala mazima ago nga bwe kyakolebwa Kenya juzi, nga bwe kyakolebwa Malawi ku juzi, si gwe mulundi ogenda okuba nga gusoose. Naye ate ng'era tumanyi nti ekooti bw'eteesale mazima ng'abangi bwe bayinza okulowooza, kibeere nga kiri ku yo, kubanga omulundi ogusoose bannayuganda bagoberera buli ekigenda mu maaso ekitabaddeyo bulijjo. Kwe kusalawo basebo ne bannyabo nti tutwale omusango mu kooti ensukulumu eya Uganda, era tubategeeza nti twawaabye omusango olunaku lwajjo nga mu nnaku 40 ekooti erina okutegeeza Abannayuganda kyesazeewo. Kino tukikoze kuba tulina obukakafu bungi nnyo, tulina evidence nyingi nnyo. Buli kimu okuba kugoberera amazima, tusuubira ekooti enkulu okusazaamu okulonda kuno. Era ekooti bw'eneba tegoberedde ekyo, tugitadde mu maaso g'abantu. Bannayuganda bagenda kuba bagyolese amaaso nga bwe gwatunulira mwami Byabakama, era ebigezo ebyo n'abigwa. Ekooti nayo eri ku kigezo mu maaso g'Abannayuganda okulaga oba ekolera Abannayuganda oba esala mazima na bwenkanya oba ekolera mu M7. Tulowooza nti kikulu nnyo okubayita abasebo ne banyabo ne tukibategeeza ekyo. And now maybe we'll take some questions, but
people power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Thank you so much, members of the press, and of course our comrades who are here. You are honorable members, and we will always call you that. We of course appreciate you for taking the step to stand and represent NUP. One of the most difficult things these past months has been being a candidate on NUP ticket, because the challenges which these comrades have gone through are enormous. Some of them were arrested on the campaign trail, others were battered, others, some of their supporters were actually murdered. So there are many challenges they went through, and we are very happy that they are here today with us to share with us some of those experiences, but also to see what will happen moving forward. I think our president has talked about most of the things. The question that has been on many people's minds is, why are you going to these courts of law, which many people seem not to have trust in? And for us, we are believers in hope. Even when the situation seems very hopeless, we still hope. So we believe that not all hope is lost. And we want, like the president said, to exhaust all possible avenues, legal avenues. Because these people, as you have seen, want to push us into violence. Those of you who might be aware, over 3,000 of our supporters countrywide are detained. These are civilians. You saw yesterday people were brought to the military court for wearing red berets. Others were not even found with a red beret or anything like that. The state claimed that our comrade Nubian Lee, Edimutwe, and others who are at Chitalia, all of them, they were found with, I think, 4 magazines or whatever. Yes, 1 magazine and some 4 bullets. All these were 49 of them. You can imagine. And they've had to spend all this time, over a month now, under detention, illegally. And some of you in the media, and we really appreciate you for running these stories of our people who have been kidnapped in different parts of this country. How can you call this an election? Where people, all our polling agents in many areas were just arrested and detained. Some of them are still in detention right now. These guys have been doing operations, capturing people with DR forms and taking them away, causing them to disappear. We got information that some operatives are moving around in different districts asking people to fill new DR forms. You can imagine, in Lango and other areas, they bring a new DR form and say, please sign it, and then of course they give different kinds of results on those DR forms. So these things we sat down. It was a very big decision to make for us, because we want to listen to the people, and many people are saying maybe we shouldn't go to these courts. But then we said that all this evidence which we have, which is overwhelming, we must have a place where we are going to present it and leave it to the court to decide to stand with the people, to stand for what it is meant to stand for, or otherwise. So that is why eventually we decided to go to the Supreme Court of this country. The people who sit there are called honorable justices, and we hope that they will live to their expectation, of course based on what we will be able to submit before them. So I want to add my voice to those who have been condemning in a strong state operatives who continue to arrest our people. These drones which keep moving around and picking our people and taking them, it is very unfortunate. And we are using all avenues, both domestic and international. We are invoking the United Nations Convention on enforced disappearances. We are trying to use all avenues. As you know, we filed already a case at the ICC and many others, because you cannot live in a country where citizens are just picked up at night. We used to study about Pandagari when we were growing up, and now what we're seeing is worse. Our brother Devi, he was here. He just picked at night, beaten up and taken away kept for several days before he could be released. And many others, people who associate with us in every way, are just rounded up and taken away. The president will tell you he's being trailed everywhere, and many of our leaders, the state of intimidation that we go through, Comrade Joel and others, unknown people coming to our homes and trying to, ask questions and that kind of thing. So that state of fear that we are living under, all dictatorships have tried to do this, but we are not intimidated, and that's a message that we need to give them. We know why we came into this, and why we came into this is to change our country and make sure that we see a new Uganda. Dictators world over can delay change, but they can never stop change. And I can tell you, I have all the confidence, especially after this election, and seeing how Ugandans came out in large numbers. Although Mr. Wakama and his electoral commission have tried to say that the voter turnout was low, of course that's a fraud, that's a lie. You all saw what was happening. People came out in unprecedented numbers to vote for change. And those people are still there. We believe that those people are going to cause change in this country. What we have emphasized is that we want to use lawful means and non-violent means. We know that the state has tried all sorts of things, and you've seen the narrative start up. They say, oh, you are training rebels, you're doing it, you have a terror cell, terror groups and all that. That's what they've done. You remember when Dr. Vesche came up, the FDC, they came up and said that he was training rebels and got all his people and put them in the court martial. The same thing they are doing today to us. But none of that will save them from the inevitable fall. That's what I wanted to add, comrades, and I wish you all the best. There's a deputy president in charge of Western Uganda who batenjogera ku nsonga ez'enjawulo naye okusingira ddala okwongereza ku ebigambo president waffe Oweekitiibwa Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu mu byayogedde. Ayogedde ku nsonga lwaki twagenda mu kkooti, era nga nayongezako kikatiriza nti akalulu bwe kaggwa ate tetwagala nnyo kayita kalulu kubanga luno lwali lutalo tekali kalulu. Akalulu kaba kategeeza nti kalina okubeera kabwenkanya, kalina okubeeramu amazima, tulina okubeera n'obwerufu. Kati wetwogerera internet bagijjako, abamawulire ne babatiisatiisa, abaali balina okujja nga ba observer, aba America, aba Europe n'abalala babalemesa okujja wano okulaba ebigenda mu maaso. Kyali kitegeeza nti baali bamanyi kye bagenda kukola, era muze mulaba obutambi obuvaayo. Ku makya kuno nalabye akatambi nga bajjayo ba agents baffe aba police n'amagye nga bajjako nga basuula eri. Era abangi nnyo okoola olunaku baali batukubira ba agent baffe nga babagoba ku polling stations. Naye kisingira ddala byonna bye bali mu kukola tebigenda bawona kubanga ffe tuli ku mulamwa gwakujjako nakyemalira ate tugenda mujjako. Tuwabye guno omusango tulina essuubi. Waliwo ebiseera bobeerawo nga abantu baweddemu essuubi, baweddemu amaanyi, naye ffe kye tugamba bannayuganda bonna babeere n'essuubi. Kubanga n'amawanga amalala nga Malawi bwe baali batwala omusango mu kkooti, abantu baali baweddemu amaanyi nga bagamba lwaki mugenda mu kkooti zino. E Kenya kye kimu nga abantu baweddemu amaanyi tebasobola kukkiriza nti waliwo kkooti wano ku lukalu lwa Africa esobola okusazamu ki akalulu. N'olwekyo naffe tuyimiridde ku ssuubi eryo ne tugamba bannayuganda bakola omulimu gwabwe ne balonda. Akakiiko k'ebyokulonda ne kakola bye kakola nga kayambiddwako amagye n'abalala. Kakati ne tugamba ne kkooti katuziwe chansi zikole omulimu gwazo oba ziremererwe okukola omulimu ssemateeka gwe ziwa. Kati bagenda mu maaso n'otutiisatiisa nga bwe mulabye abantu baffe abasuka bali mu makomera ag'enjawulo, era tubasabye bannange enamba gye tubasindikidde esimu musindike amanya g'abantu abo kubanga abamu tetubamanyi. Naye tulina abantu abasuka mu 300 be bakakwata mu bitundu by'enjawulo by'eggwanga nga babasiba. Ssemateeka wa Uganda alagira nti bwe bakwata mu ssaawa 48 olina okuba nga batwaliddwa mu kkooti. Naye abamu bamazeeyo emyezi n'emyezi. Osanga ng'abantu baffe abamu ekitalya babaddeyo tebayise na mu kkooti okubatwala kitalya, abamu bali ku police stations, abalala bali mu safe houses n'ebirala bwe bityo. Waliwo n'okutiisibwatiisibwa bakulembeze bannaffe bagenda mu maaso n'okufuna omukulembeze waffe nga mumanyi police emutambulirako n'aba operatives abalala naffe mwogezi waffe n'abalala genda kwesanga ewaka abantu abatamanyikiddwa bajja ne babuuza ne batandika okubuuliza bino nebiri n'olwekyo bagezaako tutisatisa mpozi n'ekirala bagenda mu maaso n'okucupula DR forms mu bitundu ebyenjawulo bagendayo abantu baffe baali ba agent ne batuukirira ne bagamba kati sayininga DR form endala kubanga jjukira bakwata DR forms zaffe zisuuka mu mutwalo wetwogerera bakwata abantu bataano be bakwata abaali bazikunganyiza nga bazireeta era bw'olaba emisango gye babateekako nga gyakusekererwa oli bamukwata na DR forms ne bamucharginga ne threatening violence ne bamutta abalala tebabacharginga nobacharginga bazibajjako obuje ne babaleka ne bagenda abalala ate bakyaliyo wetwogerera nga bakyabakutte ku ssaawa zino naye ffe kyetugamba bannayuganda mubeere bagumu luno olutalo lugenda kuggwa mukama ali naffe ate tuyimiridde ku sayidi amazima mwebale nnyo